Oh my god, you guys, we are here. I am ready to share. Let's get rolling. Hey guys, so it's me, Kiani. Today's video, I am here to share with you. Oh my god, you guys are going to be so excited. Oh, my lack thereof the PR package from Covergirl. But I did go out and find the Covergirl truBlend Matte Made Foundation. The shade that I'll be testing today is T30. So in this video, you're going to hear my commentary on my thoughts of Covergirl coming out with 40 shades. You'll also see me demonstrate applying the foundation. You'll also see me demoing the product where I'm going to test it with a brush as well as a beauty blender. And then you're going to get into the commentary after I do the wear test. So without further ado, if you want to see my commentary, because it was not sponsored, just keep on watching. So I'm going to shake the foundation up and I'm going to give this one pump and pray that this shade is right. So she's coming off a little bit light, but like I said, this was the deepest shade I could find in store. So you'll see that is D30. Now, she is coming off a little bit light, but not too light for me not to do a review on the foundation. When brands rave about how many shades they have and they only offer a certain amount in an accessible range, this could almost cause somebody to wear the wrong shade of foundation. Luckily, I know what I'm doing. I know how to adjust the foundation. I know that she will probably oxidize just a little bit and adjust, but if you're only offering a certain color range to your viewers or consumers, but you're boasting by an influencer that there are so many different shades and how much they love it, I mean, you're really still doing an injustice to the masses of consumers that will enjoy buying your product. So that's another point that I wanted to make, but we're gonna go ahead and make this do what it do. We're gonna grab a flat kabuki brush. This is my face brush by Finalized. It's the S409. And we're just going to see how we can make this work, okay? Like I said, the shade is not so bad that I can't make it work, but I would have loved to have been able to try this in maybe the T40 and maybe even the T50, just seeing how light this one is coming off. So you can clearly tell that I could go a tad bit warmer, and even in the warmer shades that they offer in store, they didn't have my shade as well. So yeah, she's a little light. She is coming off very glowy though. I can actually still see, like I have a little mole right here, I can still see that. I can still see the discoloration right here, which I typically patch up with concealer and color corrector, so I'm not going to worry about that. But you can clearly see the difference between the finish. Like, it still looks like skin. Can you still see how my skin is glowing here, and here is glowing as well? So yeah, as far as her being a all the way matte, pretty much the genuine consensus is this is more like a semi-matte foundation. So I'm going to be really curious to see. I'm going to go ahead and grab a damp beauty blender and see if we can get a little bit more evenness and tone, or see if we can get a little bit different of coverage with the beauty blender. And that sheared it out even more. So you can see the difference between the brush. You're going to get a little bit more coverage. As far as texture on the skin, I don't feel like it's leaving texture. I have tried maybe the Infallible Pro Matte Foundation. The way it dried down to the skin, I could definitely tell that I had a foundation on, although once it dried, it was beautiful. This, I can't feel it at all. So I'm just going to go in and do another round. So this is after 2 full pumps. So the makeup still looks very dewy, and I'm looking in my viewfinder right here, and it's actually going somewhat gray. Let's turn on the Glam Core to check it. Now when I take a look at it up close, she does have a beautiful finish. I would think if the shade were perfect, I would definitely want to try this again in a better color, because the way that this is blended into my neck really is not giving me a start or a stop. I'm looking around my nose area where I would typically get a little bit of breaking, and I can still see a little bit of texture right through here. But you know what? We're going to still give it a shot. I don't think the shade is too bad that I can't make it work. I'm definitely going to recommend to follow me on my social media, because when I do get the right shade, then I will be testing it again for coloring. Right now I'm testing it for hold, okay? Going to do a little bit of concealing underneath the eye area, just using my Makeup Revolution concealer, another drugstore product. And just so I can show you how I am going to adjust the color, I did pick up the Covergirl. This is the contour palette, the truBlend contour palette. I want to say maybe they're either phasing them out or they just put them on a massive sale, because Covergirl was buy one get one half. And I'm just going to do a little bit of contouring. I'm going to grab this shade right here. This is a way that you can kind of adjust your color. That shade is not working at all, so I'm going to the darker one. I will say that this is not putting out a lot of color at all. Like, I'm used to a shade like that giving me a lot of impact. I'm totally not impressed with this, but we're going to still work with it. It's smooth, but it's just not giving me the impact of color that I want. So I'm having to work a little bit harder. And you'll see what I'm doing is just kind of buffing over the bone structure of my face, just to make sure that the foundation doesn't look so light. And you'll see as I move down, I'm typically lighter right through my neck. That actually saves me. But I've noticed a lot of people are darker on their neck and arms than they are on their face, because we typically shield this part of the face. Alright, so I've just adjusted the foundation and gave it a little bit more of a lifelike appearance. And again, this is only, you know, it's close to $4, so if you're having to do that, if you really like how the finish of this foundation is going and you need to be able to adjust it, just having that little tip might actually save you. So what I'm going to do now is finish the rest of my makeup off camera. Have a pretty light day, not going to do anything too drastic, but I do want to test this foundation in the heat, and it's very warm here in the Carolinas, so we're going to get to that in just a moment. Alright guys, and I am back. This is the final result. What I want to show with you guys is I did powder this side of my face using a finishing powder. And if you can see on this side, I do have a little bit of patchiness where my concealer and my powder connected to the foundation. It got a little bit patchy. Like, if I'm really up close, I can actually see where there's texture right here because it didn't quite mend. That's a sure sign that the foundation is extremely matte. However, it's kind of playing trickery, because when you look at it, it doesn't look like a super duper matte foundation. So it's kind of intriguing how that works, but I am having to finish this up with the finishing powder just to make sure that it's not noticeable. And she plays nice. So I'm toning down the blush, toning down all of that, just using a finishing powder. I also neutralized the color using the finishing powder as well. So you'll see that this has a little bit more golden undertone than the foundation did, and it just warmed the foundation up. So in the beginning, if you remember how it looked a little ghostly, and now it's blended down to match. Now, that was a lot of work to make it match, just because if you're looking for a product that on the spot, I'm definitely going to recommend that you get the exact shade, which leads us back to our previous conversation. But as far as what she looks like on camera, I have studio lights right here. However, I do have them dialed down a great deal so you can get a trueness. It's not like a super bright light. I'm just doing it just so you can actually see what's going on. And the colors are very, very true and representative of what they look like in natural light. I'll go ahead and insert some pictures. I've taken pictures of the foundation with the flash, and I am actually impressed. As a matter of fact, I took the photos before I even powdered the foundation, and even with the flash, it wasn't too crazy. So yeah, this is the final result. It's what it looks like, and I am right now in the color that I'm using, which, let's remind me again, is the Warm Honey. I would definitely want this to be in a little bit warmer of a shade. So I might actually go back to the store and try and find the warm version to see if it gives me a little bit more reddish yellow undertone. I don't know. If you want to actually see that, make sure that you're following me on Snapchat and Instagram. If that's something I come across and I can actually find it in store in a timely fashion, I will go ahead and update you guys on the color that I think is my truest shade. So right now I have, it's 1:12. Like I said, I'm starting this video much later than I wanted to, but I can still get a full 8 hours of wear time. I'm going to take my vlog camera with me, and we'll do some periodic check-ins. If I see anything crazy, then I'll have that camera with me. And yeah, stay tuned for my finalized results. Hey guys, so you'll see that I am in the car. Wave family. We have a little visitor. Say hi, Ariel. Chandler, the Chloe. So yes, we are going into let's say hour number 5.5 hours. And you guys, up close and personal, this is outside. I'm using my vlog camera. This foundation is not breaking. And this area right here, usually on my nose, is where I can tell that it starts to break. Are you seeing this up close? Like, not even remotely anything moving. On my chin, nothing's moving. And even where I was thinking that there was a little bit of a makeup blunder right through here, where the connection was kind of patchy, like, it's still flawless. Like, that is absolutely crazy. And I'm comparing it from my face to my neck. Like, it really does look amazing. But I'm gonna really put it to the test. I am going to run those errands that I was mentioning, and I'm also gonna try to get on a track and do about 10 laps. So we'll see how it fares after that. All right guys, it is now 8:30, and I want you to know that I just did some laps in an indoor track. And yeah, I probably got about a good 30 minutes. And whereas my skin is a little bit dewy right now, this makeup, she is not breaking. Like, that's impressive. And it's just crazy because, you know, when your body heats up, typically a makeup will show like issues. I am getting some sweating on my nose. This is the only area that I get. The makeup just will not stick there. And I'm talking about, I've spent $60 a bottle on foundation, and right here, honey, she does not stay. That sweat wants everything off. But as for everything else, we look very, very matte, but still super duper wearable. So I'm gonna give this makeup a couple more hours. Everything that I was thinking about, maybe the foundation oxidizing too much and maybe being a little too dewy to be matte, I mean, she is giving me beautiful coverage. I mean, I am just in awe. For $10, am I thinking right now that she was worth me running around to 3 different stores to find? I don't know. Stay tuned to find out. All right, guys, and I'm back. I've completed my entire day wearing the Covergirl truBlend Matte Made Foundation in the shade T30. I'm going to go ahead and give you my finalized commentary. I am looking at this foundation right now, and whereas I have no complaints with the staying power, like, this foundation went through some endurance testings today. What I'm seeing is right through here, it is very, very light. Like, it oxidized right through here, and I can tell if I wouldn't have contoured in this area that I would have been extremely light. But in the beginning, I did tell you that this was more of a video to share with you the holding power of the foundation. I can't lie, I'm giving it 2 thumbs up. Did I think that it was going to give me this amount of hold? Absolutely not. Just because the way that it feels on the skin, you cannot feel that it's on the skin, which is absolutely amazing. And if I had to compare this foundation with anything, I don't even have a comparable to it. I know that Double Wear is one of my favorite long-wearing foundations. It has that much more hold. And if I compared it to maybe a matte drugstore foundation, the Maybelline Super Stay Foundation, which is one of my favorite drugstore foundations right now, you definitely know that you have it on your face. So this foundation is definitely in a league of its own. It says matte. As for me, I have super dry skin. I did use a primer. I did use moisturizer with this product. I didn't get any grabbing to it. I've heard a lot of girls saying that this is great for oily skin, but as for me, I don't even have exposed texture. I don't have to worry about it grabbing in areas. The only place that I had a little issue with it holding is really right on my nose here. Like I said, I am seeing a little bit of a patchiness where the makeup didn't connect as evenly as I would have liked, but I really want to say it was probably because I had to add so much of this truBlend to really get the initial amount of coverage. If I were to contour, again, I would probably want to have a shade much darker than this. One of my favorite techniques when I want to contour with a matte foundation or any dewy foundation is to use the exact same foundation formula in a deeper shade. Therefore, it becomes the contour. I think that light products tend to work better. And like I said, I think I'm just getting the patchiness because this is so creamy. Same thing went for my concealer. It patched out this way. And I think it was mainly because I had the foundation, it was already dry before I got the concealer on. So I would probably need to work much faster or possibly even use a concealer that is a lot more wet, i.e. dewy. So yeah, that is basically my finalized commentary on this product. I am absolutely obsessed with how it held. Would I recommend it to you? I don't know. I'm still kind of on the fence because the shade range is trying to really get the best shade ranges. I do know that this foundation is being launched in the month of June. That's where we are right now. So hopefully by the time that this video hits the airwaves, that it is in full proximity for everyone to purchase their perfect shade. So I'm going to give it a thumbs up for hold, and I'm going to give it a thumbs down for accessibility, because I did have to go to 3 different stores to find the shade that inevitably was not the right shade. But if you can get your hands on it, will you be trying it? Let me know in the comments down below. You guys know I love to connect with you, so make sure you connect with me. Follow me on all my social media links and never miss another upload. If you have not already subscribed to my channel, I have no idea what you're waiting on. I do upload 2 videos a week, and you can also find me on Snapchat and Instagram at Makeup by Kiani. And yeah, I'm hoping that I'll see you on the next upload. Until next time, guys, thanks so much for watching. Hugs and kisses. We'll talk to you soon. Bye.